I'm Maggie McInnes, and I'm from Quinn Evans Architects. I'm here on the diag of the University of Michigan campus today, and we're looking at the St. Dana building. It faces out on the diag. Was built in 1903 for the medical school, and in the early 1960s was occupied by the School of Natural Resources, and they've been there ever since. When we undertook the renovation of this project, the School of Natural Resources chose to use sustainable design as a strategy for the renovation. So we took that as our challenge and did a top-to-bottom renovation of the interior as well as some restoration work to the exterior of the building. The building was built in 1903, as I said, and it's in an early Renaissance classical style with a rusticated granite stone at the bottom half of the building with brick facade on the upper half. The pediments at the roof line really depict this style, as well as the copper cladding and flat roof structure. It's a load-bearing building with a donut configuration. The interior of the building was at one time an outdoor courtyard. This was later filled in by the University of Michigan in a phase 1 renovation of the project. Skylight was added on top of this space and resulted in 20% more interior space for the school to use. When Quinn Evans came on board, we upgraded the infrastructure, mechanical, electrical systems, and numerous finishes, renovating as well as adding sustainable features, which we'll all take a look at when we go inside. In this close-up shot, you can see that the windows installed in the building are not the original windows. These are insulated aluminum double-hung windows now fixed in place. The original windows, of course, would have been wood double-hung windows. This window replacement was done a while back in the 1980s. However, we elected to not replace these due to cost reasons, and they were insulated glass, so they do provide some energy efficiency. However, the tinted glass and the aluminum material would not be consistent with the historic fabric of the building. However, as I said, we left that in place. Above the windows, you can see some of the more detailed brickwork in the round windows from the original attic space, but the regular dental rhythm of the brickwork is a typical detail of a classical structure. We're inside the building now, and we're taking a look at one of the interior conference rooms. One of the biggest improvements that we made to the building was a new cooling system. That cooling system is called a chilled ceiling panel system, and you can see it in this space. They are very simple panels that are mounted to the ceiling. Copper piping is fed through these panels, and cold water runs through this copper piping. The heat in the room is absorbed by the panels and thus cools the room. This is an oversimplification of how it actually works, but nevertheless, it's a very quiet, simple system and operates on very simple ideas of convection and radiation, and miraculously cools the space very efficiently. We've calculated that with this kind of cooling system, there's a 30% energy savings annually in the building. We've used these chilled panels throughout the school, in classrooms, conference rooms, in office spaces, and many small storage spaces as well. So it's a very interesting design and works well in this building. One of the very fortunate benefits of this system is the fact that it's very low profile. It only takes up a few inches on the ceiling, and therefore we are able to see the full height of the historic windows, which is something that you tend to lose when you've got a ducted air conditioning system in a building that comes down about 3 feet below the windows. So it's a unique system, ideal for historic buildings. We're in a typical corridor right now, and this gives you a good example of a variety of new materials that were added to an existing hallway. The existing brick walls remained, of course, but at the floor and ceiling you'll find many interesting products such as soy board, wheat board, and aspen pressed twigs into a product produced by Tectum that were all used for ceiling panels, as well as a linear raceway track down the middle of the corridor that conceals all of the electrical wiring for the building. New doors incorporated into the building use the original wood panel construction similar to the historic doors. However, they were all made out of certified wood. This means that the wood was obtained from sustainable forest, managed forests, where the trees are selectively cut down and does not destroy the forest. The Forest Stewardship Council certifies wood of this type. So this project used all certified wood, which was a valuable contribution to the LEED certification that we obtained. We're on the roof and it's a wonderful cloudy day, but here you can see two examples of photovoltaics that were installed: monocrystalline panels and a laminate sticky type photovoltaic, both on the flat portion of the roof. There are 10 kilowatts of the monocrystalline and 20 kilowatts of the laminate style photovoltaics for a total of 30 kilowatts. These don't provide an enormous amount of electrical need for the building, but they do provide a learning opportunity for the faculty and staff of the school to understand how the product works, and as a way of documenting their performance over a period of time. And here we are back inside, and the bamboo is another material that was used throughout the building quite a bit. Right here to my left is a column that is wrapped in bamboo. Bamboo flooring is found throughout the building, and then behind me are other examples of certified wood. In this case, we use certified laminate lumber for the structure to these office spaces. We had an example to reuse material in the wood, or material from the building, when the old timber roof was removed to put the new skylight on the building. Fortunately, all of the wood timbers were saved and stored on campus for over a year under blue tarps, and when the time came, these timbers were brought back out to the mill shop and remilled, and we were able to reuse this wood, which was old growth pine, and build new things in the building. One example of the reuse of this wood are these fins on the railing here to my right. And if you walk through the building, you'll find numerous examples of where we incorporated this wonderful material throughout the building. Here in the bathroom spaces, several materials were used that are considered sustainable. Recycled glass tile is found on the floor as well as on the walls. And the toilet partitions and lav countertops are made out of a recycled plastic product. In this case, we blended 3 colors together to create a unique pattern on the partitions. And on all the walls, you'll find low VOC paint has been used throughout. This was very important to the occupants of the building since it was occupied during construction. Low VOC stands for low volatile organic compound, which means that basically has fewer toxic chemicals in the product and doesn't give off gaseous fumes that can irritate people and during and after the application of the product. Upon the completion of the renovation of this project, we went about the process of obtaining a LEED rating for this work. We were successful in achieving a gold LEED certification. LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and this program is put together by the U.S. Green Building Council. It was a long, arduous process to achieve this certification, but there's much reward for the recognition, and as you can see, there's a gold seal permanently placed on the wall in this building that recognizes the aspects of the renovation that are green, sustainable design. This building is the 5th oldest standing historic structure on campus, still standing structure, and the combination of using a historic structure and combining high technology and green design is a unique accomplishment, and will continue to be recognized. The students and the faculty at the school will continue to learn from the products and the systems that were installed in the building for years to come. Not only that, but the School of Natural Resources was able to maintain its prominence on campus, on the diag, right in the heart of campus, without disrupting their program and achieving all of their personal goals. If you do come to the University of Michigan campus and want to stop by the building, please stop by the admissions office or the dean's office and pick up one of these self-guided tours that will lead you around the building, and you can take a look at close-up hand all of the features that were included into this project.